It's time for
the New York Yankees!
Start spreading the news. The Yankees win their home opener 6-1. I got my microphone working, right, guys? Because I'm looking at the little meter right now, and it's going up. I see the green. I see the yellow. That means I'm talking too loud, though, but I got it. Brian Bashman says, is Derek making you do this pod? Blink twice if you need help. No, I'm doing it because I like doing it. I love the Yankees. That's what we're doing it for. Frankie Baseball, welcome. But yeah, welcome to another show of PTTK live coming from Los Angeles. Thank you guys all for joining after Derek's show. Another Yankees win, and they look absolutely fantastic to start the season, man. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from them. Take a little closer look at just the overall game. They went 8-2. Aaron Judge, 2 for 3 with a home run and 3 RBIs and a stolen base. How about that? A stolen base for Aaron Judge. And they were saying in the broadcast, you can really run on the Marlins, man. They can't throw anybody out to save their life. So, that is absolutely diabolical that Aaron Judge, a 6'7", 282-pound man, is stealing bags on the Miami Marlins. I guess Liam Hicks doesn't have an arm. Augustin Ramirez can't catch. He's DHing. What the hell's going on over there? Also, they were saying that they call the pitches from the dugout organizationally. The catchers don't even catch a single – they don't even call a single pitch the entire game. That all comes from the dugout. Pretty crazy stuff. I feel like they got to, learn eventually. But anyways, we're going to have a fun little show today. Talk about a couple different things. Talk about Ben Rice. Talk about Paul Skenes to the Yankees. Something along those lines. We'll get into that in a second. But anyways, the game, Yankees win 8-2. Off to a great start this season. How could you not be happy with what they got going on right now? Really what I want to talk about as well is I got a question for you guys as well. And at the end of the show, you guys will see that we're going to do a little bit of a Q&A session, if you will. I got a question in the comments about if I could do a Q&A. But Ben Rice, man, question for you guys. Is Ben Rice already the second best offensive player for the New York Yankees behind Aaron Judge right now? Is it Cody Bellinger or is it Ben Rice? I think Cody Bellinger is probably the mainstream pick. The obvious pick, but I think that Ben Rice, when it's all said and done, maybe even by the All-Star break, there'll be a legitimate conversation to be had that Ben Rice is the second best player on the New York Yankees behind Aaron Judge, offensively at least. The guy obviously hit the home run, double, struck out a few times, which is unfortunate, but he hits the ball hard every single time, and we know from last season that he was probably one of, if not the most unlucky hitter in baseball. Frankie Baseball says it's Rice. See, I think I agree with you, Frankie. Stanton, if he were just to stay healthy, yeah, I think so, but I feel like Ben Rice still, even like mano a mano, and Stanton hits majestic home runs, but I just think Ben Rice at this moment is a bit more of a complete hitter, maybe, a little bit more selective at the plate. Stanton, obviously, probably going to hit 500 home runs. He's going to go to the Hall of Fame. He's a fantastic player, but, Ben Rice is really the real deal. I just got the new MLB The Show today, which is kind of funny for all of you guys out there that play MLB The Show. But, they have this feature in franchise where you can put a guy on a do not touch list, like he is untradeable. They are not going to move him. If I'm Brian Cashman, my two guys right now are Cam Schlittler and Ben Rice. I don't care what is being offered to acquire that. You better be offering Bobby Witt if you even want me to think about it, to be honest, or a Paul Skenes, which we're going to talk about right now. There was a report that came out about Paul Skenes and the Yankees and some noise, and it's the Yankees, and Paul Skenes is a superstar, and there's always going to be noise around superstars in the Yankees. It's just how it works. This is what big franchises do. But Jim Bowden was on the mothership on Foul Territory talking about this, that the reported package offered was Cam Schlittler, Carlos Grande, Spencer Jones, and George Lombard Jr. for Paul Skenes. Now, if I'm, and he was saying the Pirates would be nuts not to do it. Nuts not to do it. How would you not? I mean, honestly, I kind of like, I think I got to agree. How do you not do that deal if you're the Pirates? We're talking about Cam Schlittler, who, by the way, is through the first 18 starts basically another Skenes. They have, look it up. First 18 starts, they have like the exact same numbers. It's pretty scary stuff. Schlittler, obviously, we know what he did in the playoffs against the Red Sox. But I am sorry. I don't do that trade if I'm the Yankees. If I'm the Yankees and they made that trade, would I be happy that the Yankees got Paul Skenes? Yeah, absolutely. It's Paul Skenes. He's probably the best pitcher on the planet right now. And Livy Dunn's going to be in Yankee Stadium. Woo! But all I'm saying is Cam Schlittler to me is he's got to stay. There's just how does he not? How does he not? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself, but if I'm the Pirates, you have to make that trade. Carlos Agrange, a guy throwing 103. Spencer Jones, he's a bit of a shot asset in terms of he's a 24, 25. I think he's 24. 24-year-old in the minor leagues, but he's got a high upside. And obviously, George Lombard, the Yankees' best prospect. That's 4 impact players for the Pirates right there to couple with Connor Griffin. And O'Neal Cruz, who's a solid player, and Ryan O'Hearn and Brendan Lau. You know, they got a nice little team over there. Like, if you're the Pirates, how do you not make that trade? If I'm the Yankees, there's no chance I'm making that trade. Now, if I'm the Yankees, though, what I really want to get into it, though. So if you look at the FanGraphs payroll with the Yankees right here, all right? So if you give a look at that, I'm going to move my stuff around. But if you look at that, Garrett Cole and Carlos Rodon, okay? Garrett Cole makes an AAV of $36 million. Carlos Rodon, $27 million, okay? So they are set to become free agents in the winter of 2028. So they're off the books in 2029. And if you guys go look at the Pirates payroll situation, Paul Skenes is a free agent that window. That lines up just about perfect. And if you're the Yankees, that's over $50 million that comes off the books. Why wouldn't you just sign him in free agency? The Pirates aren't. And look, the CBA is going to change things. We don't know what's going to happen with the CBA. The CBA may have a salary cap, or the difference, an ability to keep a player. Like there are more incentives, like kind of in the NBA when you can sign a supermax contract with the team that drafted you to kind of incentivize smaller market teams to keep their stars. We don't know. But let's just assume for a second that they remain relatively the same. We'll say relatively the same because I do think there will be changes, but just for sake of argument. How are you not just waiting for him in the weeds in free agency? There was already a rumor that came out that he is interested about being a Yankee. He's interested in that idea. A teammate, an anonymous teammate had said that, which is kind of a weird story to get out. But I'm a little bit like, I don't think the Mets, and I see Frankie saying that Derek thinks the Mets get him. I think the Mets get Tarek Skubal. I think Tarek Skubal leaves the Tigers in free agency and the Mets get Tarek Skubal. And I think the Mets have Tarek Skubal and the Yankees have Paul Skenes, and you have the 2 best pitchers in baseball in New York in both markets. That's what I think. I do not think that the Mets are going to get Paul Skenes. Also, via trade, what assets do they have to give him? Carson Bench. They already traded Sproat and Williams for Freddie Peralta in Milwaukee. I just don't see it happening. Tarek Skubal, I see it happening. Just because Steve Cohen and his money, and he's going to be a free agent, and Tarek Skubal is probably going to get $40 million on the free agent market, and that's kind of what they need, is sort of that true ace at the top of the rotation. I mean, they got Freddie Peralta, who I think is a good player, but he's not Tarek Skubal. So I think Tarek Skubal to the Mets is much more likely than getting Paul Skenes. And somebody's smoke alarm, one of my neighbors' smoke alarm is going off, guys. Hopefully everything's fine. There's no fires happening. But, yeah, it's Frankie Baseball. Skubal on the Mets, Skenes on the Yankees, absolute cinema. Yeah, man, I think baseball would love it. I think it'd be great for the game, and I think that's the likely scenario. I don't think the Dodgers get Skubal, though, man. I don't, especially with the CBA. If there's a salary cap, no chance. They don't have the room for it. Kyle Tucker hit a home run, by the way, today. I don't think the Dodgers get Skubal. I think that's just kind of like they get everybody's take, to be honest. Respect it, though. But I think that, Skubal to the Mets to me seems like the most likely destination. That's just me. But, yeah, then we're talking about a Max Fried, Paul Skenes, Cam Schlittler, Carlos Agrange, and probably, I guess, a Will Warren or like a Luis Heel or Chase Hampton, Elmer Rodriguez Cruz. There's a bunch of guys to pick from, but that would be a ridiculous rotation. The Yankees have a chance, guys, to have starting pitching, elite starting pitching for the next 10 years. For the next 10 years, if you think about it, if you want to think about it that way. But yeah, I think that if you're the Yankees, Rodon and Cole coming off the books, and I'm sure Garrett Cole would like go recruit Paul Skenes too. Like they would send him in there. But if you're the Yankees, how do you not sign Paul Skenes? You have the money. There's been the ties there already. They obviously love him. Everybody loves him. I don't think the Pirates would trade him right now, especially with like 4 more years of control. He sells too many tickets, sells too many jerseys. Is a huge draw for them. They basically have nothing without him. I mean, I guess Connor Griffin, but he's not a star yet. He just got here. I really think, Action BJ says Scooble is from California, though. Well, so is Cole. Cole was from California. He chose the Yankees. So Vegas A's should sign Scooble. That's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later about how that whole situation is going to go. But I definitely think that, Scooble to the Mets and Skenes to the Yankees. That is my take on that. And we'll talk a little bit more now about this is going to be the Q&A session, guys. So you guys just drop questions in here. I'll answer them. Do the Yankees trade Schmidt for a third baseman? I could see it. Well, Clark Schmidt's having Tommy John surgery. He's not going to be back until, September? Yeah, he's not going to be back until September. So I could see it. Clark Schmidt's kind of expendable now. Really, like if you think about it this way, everybody healthy, the rotation would be Fried, Cole, Schlittler, Rodon, right? And then, okay, so those are the solid 4. And now you're having a conversation of Elmer Rodriguez, Carlos Ogrange, Luis Gil, Clark Schmidt, Ryan Weathers. That's a rotation right there, only for the 5th spot. They got insane depth. I don't see how, like, Chase Hampton doesn't get traded. Why would you keep him? Why would you keep Chase Hampton? You have all this depth. I would definitely trade him. Ben Hess probably in the bullpen. This is kind of like my ADHD kind of moment here. TK, what's your next movie? When's your next movie? Like what movie I'm going to be in or what movie I'm going to go see? You need to specify. I have a short film coming out soon. Does Cade Winquist throw a pitch in the majors for the Yankees? Yeah, I think so. At some point. I mean, right now he's just a glitch in the matrix. He's just ones and zeros. I've never seen the guy, but I do feel like eventually he'll be in there. How do you feel about McMahon? You have any help on our hitting coach helping him? I hope on our hitting coach helping him. McMahon, I'll take 220, 30 home runs. That would be an excellent season. I'll think 220, 20 home runs. That would be fantastic. I'd really like McMahon to at least hit 220. If he plays great defense, that's great. As I said in Derek's show, Austin Riley would be the guy that I'd love to have. I think it'd be tough to prime away from the Braves. But at the same time, I think that they're not going to be very good this year in that division. I feel like that division is just Mets and Phillies. And if they do decide to sell pieces and kind of do a little bit of a soft rebuild, then I think they would maybe look to shed payroll and move them. But they got a great GM, so who knows? Am I going to go see the drama? Yeah, I'll probably go see the drama. Thoughts on ABS? I love the ABS. I really like it a lot. I especially like that it's a challenge, that it's not just straight robo-ump because there's that feel for the game a little bit. There's a human element. And they ran out of challenges. The Yankees ran out of challenges in the 5th inning. And you just know if there's a bad call in the 8th inning, Boone is going to, lose it. And that's really entertaining to watch that. I wonder if they like Heel or Weathers more. Well, Heel's in the minor leagues right now, and Weathers is on the team. So what does that tell you? So I would say that they probably like Ryan Weathers a little bit more. Any chance Ben Rice starts the All-Star game this year? I don't think he starts the All-Star game. I think he could make the All-Star team. I don't think he starts, only because Pete Alonso, Vlad Guerrero, and Nick Kurtz are all in the American League. So I don't see that happening. Unless he just goes ballistic and he's hitting 340 with 20 home runs, then yeah. Final 4 predictions. I haven't really watched any of March Madness. I'm not a huge basketball guy. I watched the end of the UConn game. The shot to win it was insane. Excuse me. UConn's coach almost got a tech. Dude, I swear to God, he almost got teed up by getting in the ref's face there. That was kind of funny. I almost respect it. Are you worried about Volpe coming back and ruining the vibes? I don't know. Is Caballero gonna be playing really well? If so, then yeah, he would be ruining the vibes. Are you originally from New York City? And if you are, from where? I am not originally from New York City. Actually, my little background here for you guys, real quick. I was born in London, England. That's where I was born. Obviously, I don't have an English accent. I only lived there for a total of 6 weeks till my parents decided to move back to New York, where I grew up. And I grew up in Westchester County. Specifically, I grew up in a town called Mamaroneck. That is my hometown. So I used to go into New York City quite a lot, take the train into Grand Central, but I grew up in Mamaroneck, and that is my hometown. Dan Hurley is a psychopath, and I love him. Yeah, he is a psychopath. Frankie Baseball, can't believe it. London, that's right. That's right, London. Isn't that crazy? I know, right? We're all sorts of international. I'm also bilingual. I don't know if you guys knew that. Thank goodness that trade didn't go through. Skenes is great, but we can't wait until 2028 to poach him. I can't read. Skenes with Schlitter in a rotation one day. Wowza. Yeah, I think it's going to happen. I would have guessed Ghana before I guessed London. Yeah, that's crazy. Cam Schlittler to the All-Star game. Yeah, Cam Schlittler to the All-Star game. I think that's I can see it. I mean, if he keeps doing this, yeah, he's going to go to the All-Star game. Start the All-Star game, I think, is more of a conversation, but it's probably going to go to, again, like a Scooble because of the star power there. But who knows? Do you season your food Brit? Do you season your food Brit? I don't really know what that means. I like an English breakfast, but I don't think I season my food as a British guy. I season my food like an American guy. Got hot sauce on my eggs. Mets trying so hard to be Yankees light. Yeah, they're little bro. They're little bro. They always will be. That's it. You guys also see that story? This just came to me. This is an ADHD bomb, an ADHD moment, but you guys see that story with Lindor and Soto? No, I can't be president of the United States. I would never want to be president of the United States. It's a terrible job. Do you guys see that story with Lindor and Soto, though? About how they hate each other? Or they don't get along? Or they kind of like moved their lockers from across the clubhouse to each other? Look, all I'm saying is I don't think that, who was it that reported that story? Frankie Baseball, can you put in the chat who reported that story? I think it was Ken Rosenthal, but just double check that for me if you wouldn't mind. But dude, if you watch the opening day ceremony, they do this very like weak dap, like, hey dude, what's up? We're colleagues, whatever. There is not really a camaraderie there at all from what it seems. And from what the report was, it's like they're not warm and fuzzy, which is fine. They don't have to love each other and stuff. But Judge and Soto seem to get along great. But then all you're seeing from Met fans is, Yankee fans are coping. They're trying so hard because they lost Soto. You know what that seems? That seems to me like Met fans are almost overcompensating. Why are you guys worried about that so much? I could care less about Juan Soto. I hope he sucks with the Mets. I hope the Mets suck because I'm a Yankee fan. But I don't care about Juan Soto. If he wins an MVP and the Mets miss the playoffs, I could care less. I care more about the Mets if they won anything, I guess. But I could care less. It's just the Mets, like Derek Jeter said. But all I'm saying, though, is that Met fans seem to have this kind of like, you know, oh, well, we took Soto from you, and you guys are just like, you know, overcompensating and, you know, stay mad. And I'm like, I don't care about Juan Soto. You guys are the ones that keep saying all this stuff. I'm not the one reporting that. I'm not the one who's making those reports. I'm not the one who, like, I'm looking at the body language. I'm a trained actor. I'm a professionally trained actor in Los Angeles. Our whole thing is reading body language and reading human behavior. Those aren't guys that like each other. I'm sorry, it's not. And there were teams that hated each other that won. The Oakland A's back in the 70s hated each other. Michael Kay said there were teams on the Yankees that he covered that hated each other, and they still won. It doesn't prevent winning, but they don't like each other. I think that's pretty obvious. So, I don't think the story lately. No, I heard about it on, I gotta say, I think it was Ken Rosenthal. I think on on the morning show on New York ESPN radio, they asked him a question, and he had answered it about how he hadn't seen anything personally, but he did know that they moved their lockers from next to each other to across from each other, and that it doesn't seem like a very warm and fuzzy sort of relationship. White Sox beat Toronto. White Sox! Lisan Al-Gaib! We're going to be doing that because I like it. Lisan Al-Gaib. White Sox with the Lisan Al-Gaib moment right there. I like the Austin Riley swap with Atlanta. That team can't catch a break, but every team can use more pitching. Yeah, I mean, if you're the Braves and you say, we'll swap McMahon and Riley, and that's not a one-for-one, but, the Yankees would have to say, oh, we'll give you Chase Hampton, we'll give you Ben Hess, we'll give you Cohen, like a bunch of other young pitchers. Like, I don't see why the Braves wouldn't do it, or at least think about it. Especially if, the Braves are out of it. I don't see why you wouldn't consider it. Austin Riley signed long term. I don't know what the details are on the contract, but I know that he is signed long term. So anyways, guys, I'm going to get off here soon, but if you have any last minute questions, the last minute or two, I will answer them. But I appreciate you guys all kind of getting in here on the live stream. I really supporting the channel. Means a lot. We've been doing really well. We've been growing at a really good rate the first few episodes. Juan Soto switched lockers in the Mets clubhouse to be next to Luis Robert Jr. and help with him feel comfortable. Poor Will Salmon. That's so soft. Are you kidding? Francisco Lindor is supposed to be the face of the franchise of that team, and you're supposed to kind of be co-faces with Juan Soto, I guess. That's soft. Wouldn't it be great if the Yankees run away with the division this season due to their pitching? Yeah, it'd be fantastic. It's baseball. It's baseball season. Anything can happen. But I think that pitching, they got a great chance. Buster Only with the Mets story. Buster Only, guys. TK, which teams to be wary of? In the division, obviously Toronto. I think Toronto is definitely a team that you want to watch. Red Sox, they've had a really slow start, and you got to be careful. You could bury yourself in April. It's a long season, but you could bury yourself in April. But, yeah, Toronto. Baltimore, I think, will hit, but I think the only real threat in the American League, in the division at least, would be Toronto. And then it's the league as the whole, Seattle. Seattle's got great pitching, man, and if Kyle Raleigh, I guess, can figure it out and be what he was last year, I think they're going to be really good. They got some nice young players on offense as well. So Seattle, probably out west. Houston, it's funny. Houston's not what they were, but you can never really count them out. Tampa, again, they're always kind of pesky and they sort of figure out. But to me, it got to be Toronto and Seattle and kind of everybody else. So I think Yankees, Toronto, and Seattle are sort of the cream of the crop in the American League, and those would be the three favorites to get out and go to the World Series. The National League is a lot more of a gauntlet, but I love that the White Sox walked off the Jays. I think that's hilarious. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Yankees win. They are 6-1 on the season, playing really good baseball right now. Hopefully they can keep it up. There's no June swoon. We'll see. We'll see how this season unfolds. Make sure to like and subscribe. Oh, my God. My little thing here was out of place. I wasn't even paying attention. I'll fix that later. Sorry about that. But that's going to do it for me. And make sure to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support on the channel, guys. We're almost at 500. Let's get to 1,000 by the next month, May 1st. All right? May 1st, 1,000 subs. That is the goal. So I love you all. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. And I will see you guys on Monday morning.